My fellow Americans. Most people get angry when I talk to them about the fact that in 2011, legislation was introduced at the federal level that could have given every American citizen $10,000 tax-free, and they did not do it. I have an information sheet that I passed around. I'll be covering some of the information here, but a few extra things besides. Because you see, it's true. If you go to the lis.gov website, you can search for all the legislation that's in process. And you select the drop-down box for all legislation, and then in the search box, you put the letters HR 2990. And it will list all of the legislation that's attached to that code name, HR 2990. And right there in the list, somewhere a little far down, you'll see the National Emergency Employment Defense Act, the NEED Act. And if you thumb down to Section 507 of the NEED Act, you can start to read about the citizen dividend that we never received. You see, the citizen dividend was an unspecified amount of money that we were all supposed to get as a result of passing the act. And if you read some of the additional literature you can find on the web, the number that was given as the example was $10,000 per citizen. That would be $40,000 for a family of 4. And the amazing thing about this is when I explain it to people and I show them where to find this, it only takes them about 2 seconds to say the magic words, "I want my $10,000. Well, I'm going to share with you what we might be able to do to get our $10,000. The first thing you have to know is that at the federal level, for us to get anything done, requires 2 things. Number 1 is you have to find somebody who has the authority to push the button and make it happen. In this case, it would be our 2 senators and our congressperson in the House of Representatives. So we can find out who they are. And the second thing that we have to do is we have to rise up with enough people, however many enough is, and deliver a message to our representatives. It goes something like this. There's a problem here, we need you to fix it, and we need you to get us our $10,000, or we're going to vote for somebody else who will. Pretty straightforward. The second thing that we need to understand is that the NEED Act actually takes the Federal Reserve System and turns it into a bureau and puts it under the authority of the US Treasury, where a lot of us feel like it belongs in the first place. You see, the Federal Reserve is a private banking corporation. It creates money out of thin air and charges us to use our own money. And since it is a private corporation, it benefits its stockholders, and none of us are allowed to be stockholders in the Federal Reserve. How fair is that? How moral is that? So what we're going to do here is, in the Treasury, we can create money free of charge. Now think of that. Federal Reserve, debt-based money. US Treasury, free of charge, debt-free. And this is nothing new. You see, President Lincoln created the greenback dollars, which were debt-free money, and used that to pay off the Civil War debt. We're tracking with history here. So if we can create money that's debt-free, then we can have money for public works and infrastructure. We can have money to make grants to the states. We can have money to create over 7 million new good jobs. And we can have some money for our citizen dividend. Thank you very much. And since basically our plan is to bring back the greenback, Let me hear you say that.
Bring back the greenback.
One more time.
Bring back the greenback.
Vote for the NEED Act.
Vote for the NEED Act.
Give us our $10,000,
Give us our $10,000.
or we'll vote for somebody who will.
Or we'll vote for somebody who will.
You got the message.
You got the...
There's at least one in every crowd. Thank you. And now that you've got the message, there are two things that you need to do. One is go to a website called monetary.org and scroll down a quarter, third down the page, and you'll find this brochure, which is called the 32-page brochure explaining monetary reform. And it does. It gives you a brief history of money in America. It gives you the text of the NEED Act itself. And it gives you a section of Q&A that answers all the questions. So you print out 3 copies of this, one for each representative. And the other thing you have to do is make appointments to go see the representative. And the trick is that you have to take some friends with you. Take 5 people, take 10 people, take 100 people, however many people who want their $10,000. Because the more people you take, the more serious they think you are about this. And you go and you meet with your representatives. And when you meet with a representative, hand the representative a copy of the 32-page brochure and deliver the message. And the message is, bring back the greenback, vote for the NEED Act, get us our $10,000, or we'll vote for somebody who will. And that is the message, and that is the process. Let's go get our money.